But alright, speaking of casting, let's talk about this game. We have ourselves a TVZ. We're starting on Hecate, and spawning in the upper right-hand corner, we have none other than the beautiful, long-haired man himself. It is Neuro. Dropping that pizza, that little pizza emoji. We like to see it. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner, the blue Terran. It is Juggernaut Jason. Man, two of my favorite people playing StarCraft against each other. Hot diggity dog. You love to see it. This should be a fun match. I will say Jason going to be pretty favored here. He is very good, and specifically, I feel like he's usually very good against Zerg. Neuro is a strong player, but Jason's one of those contending for top NA players, and has been for a long time. Usually at the top of the ladder, top of the leaderboards. When is DreamHack Dallas? So DreamHack Dallas is going to be May 31st through June 2nd. I think that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. So I'm excited. I've never been to Dallas. I don't like to say this very often because, you know, it's not something I like to brag about really, and or even really admit. But I am a Dallas Cowboys fan. I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan my whole life, and despite the fact that it's the Dallas Cowboys, I am a fan. You know, even at their worst moments, which is most of their moments under Jerry Jones. So I don't like to admit it, but it is the truth. So it'd be cool to go to Dallas, get to maybe see the stadium. But of course, just to hang out with StarCraft people, visit a new city. I always like going to new cities. I've heard great things about Dallas. I have a friend who is from Dallas, and he always talks about how nice of a city it is and how much he likes it there. So excited to get to see it, experience some new stuff, hang out with the peeps, with the fam. I'm really looking forward to it. Now this game, to talk about this a little bit, the Reaper went down getting that creep tumor. It did get the creep tumor, but now these Lings are coming in here. They're not the biggest threat in the world, but man, they are annoying. This one Marine and the SCVs doing their best to stop these Lings from getting any damage done. But I believe they already did kill an SCV. The Hellions will pop and clean them up. Ling speed is not quite done yet. They get a full scout of Jason's base. They see the quick third CC. They see the 1-1-1 setup. The Hellions coming out. I mean, that's as good of an early set of Lings as Neuro could ever hope for. After killing the Reaper, getting an SCV kill, and getting a full scout of the base. And not to mention, forcing SCVs to be pulled to fight. I mean, that's all very annoying for Jason. Now Neuro just playing defensive back at home. Lings and Queens on the way. And just going to be droning up these 3 bases. I'm expecting Banshees here out of Jason with this tech lab on the starport. But, oh wait, no, hold on. Let me look at that production tab a little bit more. That's a fusion core we got coming up here, baby. All right. JJ going for it, giving us some battle cruisers. You love to see it. Roachhorn going down for Neuro. Now, Jason has classically played a lot of battle mech against Zergs. But, I mean, I know he's very strong with bioplay as well. So the hard thing here for Neuro, I think, is going to be figuring out exactly what Jason is doing. And, of course, making that even harder is the fact that there's about to be a battle cruiser on the way for JJ. The single engineering bay in the wall feels a little bit like a tell that it's not going to be bio to me. I think most Terrans these days have a double eBay build to get that 1-1 going at the same time. But I don't know if Neuro's going to be able to scout too much of the base. It's going to be something that I assume Jason's going to want to stop as much as possible. And the Lings are being kept at home right now to help deal with these Hellions should they try to run in. And as I say that, there they go. Drones getting pulled and split, but already a few going down. It's going to be 3-6. The Hellions now killing the Lings so that they might be able to escape and get into the main base. It looks like they're going to be cleaned up before they get anything else done. But 6 drones and trading with a bunch of Lings is still quite nice. Oh, these Queens might be sleeping on the job. Hellion also getting a scout on everything here. Sees the Bane Nest coming up, sees the Roach Warren. I believe saw the double Evo Chamber. But the Battlecruiser is done, the very first one. Yamato on the way, so we could see this BC either wait for a second one, which it looks like it's doing right now, or just walk itself across the map so it can teleport home. The scary thing about teleporting it across the map is if it does end up getting caught somehow and killed, you've now spent a lot of money also on Yamato and a second one that it's just going to feel so much weaker. It's more important to keep this first one alive than anything else. But Jason not going to show his hand. He knows he has not been scouted. All Neuro has seen so far is going to be Hellions, and I don't even think he's seen the Cyclone. As we do have Battle Mech on the way right now for Jason. So kind of as expected. Getting into those Cyclones. A few Siege Tanks coming out as well, maybe to deal with a potential Roach threat. The scary thing here for Neuro is as this game gets longer, Jason's army is going to be getting very, very strong. Mech just scales so well. And Neuro's got to figure out how he wants to deal with this style out of Jason. Now there's 2 BCs. Third one is on the way, so Jason is continuing to commit to the Battlecruisers, and these first 2 are going to start their walk across the map. And I do see some Infestors coming out, and I think Infestors are a really good answer here for a lot of reasons. Of course, if the Cyclones and Hellions try to push across the map and they get fungled, that can absolutely wreck their day. They do not last very long in a fight against Lings and Roaches when they've been hit with a fungal. Speaking of which, these Lings are looking for a bit of a surround here. I don't think the upgrade is quite done for these guys, so the Battlecruiser is actually going to teleport home to deal with this. And it's really just a handful of Lings and a few Roaches. And I feel like this is a good victory for Neuro, forcing that recall of the VCs, getting on top of a few of these Cyclones. Starting to lose a lot of units for it, but that's 12 SCVs going down as well. I kind of like that move from Neuro. Forces these BCs back home without anything in the sky to shoot them. But another good thing that the Infestors can do is they can Neural Parasite. And that's such a strong spell to use on big units like a Battlecruiser. Even on a handful of Siege Tanks, it can be really, really powerful. If there's a couple maybe out on the fringes that you can grab with the Neural, they can start shooting in on your opponent's units and making life very difficult for them. So I think the Infestors here are a great choice. There is Neural on the way. There's Burrow on the way as well. Neuro is he's on top of it. He's also got the Spire started in case he feels the need to build Corruptors against these Battlecruisers, and he might build a few. Wow, that is so many Spore Crawlers. Oh, he is not messing around on this base. That is actually insane. There's going to be 12 Spore Crawlers at this base. All right, so I think his plan here then, teleport is available on all 3 of these. If he can land Neurals on any of these BCs and then teleport them to right here, I think that's just a dead Battlecruiser. So I feel like that has to be Neuro's plan. But at the same time, he's going to dive in here and try to get some SCV kills. Ooh, there's the lift on the command center as it nearly burns down. Doesn't look like these Roaches are really being controlled right now, but there are the teleports. 1, and then 2 and 3. They're going to try to get away. This one might actually be able to escape, but it's going to take a lot of damage in doing so. That is 2 dead BCs and 1 that is very injured and just kind of has to try to go home right now. The Roaches, in the meantime, have been cleaned up. The base stays alive. A handful of SCVs went down, and I think a few Siege Tanks, but this was probably not a great trade for Neuro, but it pulled Jason's focus enough to lose the 2 Battlecruisers, and that makes it absolutely worth it, I would say, to trade out 20 or so Roaches, essentially for 2 BCs. But Jason's getting more and more locked down here. We've got planetaries. This is a second planetary. Jason is going double planetary. And now there's ghosts on the way out. And this starts to get very, very difficult for the Zerg. This is where we see even the best Zergs in the world struggle in this matchup. Whew, as the Roaches dive forward. We do have a Raven here to spot these Infestors. They still need to be targeted down. There's the Neuros on the siege tanks. And they're going to start blasting their own guys here. But the Infestors are getting targeted down. The Planetary dies, but everything Neuro brought along went down as well, except for this one Infestor that somehow is going to get away. All that essentially for one Planetary, and maybe trading with a couple of other units here. And these trades are going to start to get worse and worse for Neuro. He's got to be very careful. As Jason's on 95 SCVs right now. So Neuro going to get into some of the hive upgrades as well. We could see some Vipers come out. The hard thing here for Neuro is when you're handling spellcasters, Vipers, and Infestors, the Ghosts become, they're just so good. Like, the Ghosts just hard counter pretty much every single unit Neuro has, except for, like, Roaches actually do decent against Ghosts. Ling Bane's like okay against them sometimes, I guess, but that's what the tanks and the Cyclones and the Hellions are there for, right? They support the Ghosts, and the Ghosts kill the Ravagers, the Ghosts kill the Vipers, they kill the Infestors. There we go, Snipes going down, and Neuro's gonna dive forward, and even if he takes out one Planetary, there's a second one behind it. Was that worth all of that loss? Definitely not. Definitely not, as Jason is taking this 5th base. Neuro's economy is getting into a solid point, though, and this is one strategy that the Zerg can try to use, which is to just get a huge economy and try to bash down the Terran. Keep their army low, keep their economy low, and just keep bashing them over and over and over again with your superior economy. The problem here for Neuro is Jason's economy is killer right now, and Jason's army is looking very strong. We've even got a Thor coming out here and a couple of BCs in the sky. So if Neuro's going to do that, he's got to just, yeah, he's got to find little wins like this and try to take some victories. That was a lot of Banelings that just died right there. Oh, this Infestor trying to go somewhere, but I don't think he can really get anything done. There's a turret up here. The Roach is trying to dive in. They'll get one siege tank, but it feels like for every unit Neuro kills, he is losing so much. He's lost 8,000 more resources than his opponent. And Jason's been mining very well. There's no way Neuro has mined 8,000 more resources than his opponent. So now he's got to figure out where he wants to go from here with Thors coming out and still a couple of battlecruisers, not to mention the Ghosts. Broodlords are, they're a little scary to get into, but they might be necessary. And in some of these places, there might be a way to make them work here. There are some spots that will be more difficult for the Terran to traverse. But as Jason starts pushing forward here, he's kind of eliminating those scary areas for the Broodlords to sit and poke away his army from. Couple Queens gonna get Yamato'd here. The tank goes down to the Lings. Jason gonna try to move over here and take this base. He's gonna force Neuro's hand. He's forcing an engagement here, and I love this from Jason. He's trying to just force Neuro into a fight that Neuro doesn't really want to take right now. But he has to. He has to go defend this base. He has to stop Jason from taking this base. He's going to dive in. Lings and Banes moving forward. It looks like they'll finish off the siege tanks, but the Ghosts stay safe behind, which means these battlecruisers will stay alive as well. Jason's going to be able to take this base. He's turning this one into a planetary almost in range of the hatchery of Neuro. And Neuro's just replenishing on nearly pure Ling right now, which is, it gets to a point where it's not the most tenable unit composition. Like Ling Bane, you use so much larva and it's so mineral intensive. But I do like that Neuro is expanding down to the south side. While all this engagement stuff is happening up here, Neuro is focusing on expanding on the other side of the map where Jason can't focus right now, and a lot of siege tanks are going down here. The Baneling's going to smash through and try to get on top of some of the economy of Jason, killing a lot of the SCVs here. That was, I mean, I don't know if that was the prettiest thing in the world for Neuro, but he at least is keeping that siege tank count, I was going to say low. There are 12 tanks, but Jason is getting more and more spread out, so it's harder for those tanks to keep holding the front lines. The planetary living is very painful, and the ghost count, the ghost count is staying up at a pretty solid number. Scan going down over here to see that there are lots of Zerglings, as Neuro's trying to take that base. More infestors have come out now. 10 infestors on the field, in fact. If we could see a neural EMP here from Neuro would be so sick. Actually, so sick. And this is the kind of time where I do wonder if Broodlords could be good. We've got this Spore Crawler Forest here. The Broods at the top of the ramp could be pretty solid, and if the Ghosts move too far forward, then we could see a neural EMP situation if the Ghosts try to run forward and get some snipes. I don't know if there's a greater Spire just yet. No, it's just a regular Spire. Baneling's going to roll through. I don't know where those Banes thought they were going. But Jason's trying to move forward with the siege tanks. The Infestor's going to come in. They could go for a couple of Neurals on these tanks. There's one getting Neuraled. A second tank getting hit here. Thor getting hit as well. Where are all the Ghosts? Where is anything for Jason? It looks like he's pushing on the other side with the battle cruisers, but that is going to allow Neuro to win this fight at least somewhat, although he is going to lose a couple of Infestors for it. The Ghosts come back around. 17 SCVs went down in the meantime over here. So while Neuro gets a bit of a victory, it feels like that ends up being a victory for Jason, who's going to kill this base. Killed a lot of drones at a couple of different bases. Stops this one from coming up. Yamato and the teleport away here to trade well against the Corruptors as well. These planetaries are getting killed, but I think Jason really cares about those. I will say he's down to about 70 SCVs, so doesn't quite have that massive worker count that he had before. Oh, we've got a couple more assimilations here. The Ghosts decide that they have to run away from the Thors, which I think they're absolutely correct to do. The Thors will live, though, so they turn around and kill their own friends, and then they will live. Again, I'd really love to see a Neural on one of these Ghosts to EMP the other Ghosts. It's such a tough thing to pull off. But Neuro is right there with all of the Infestors. I feel like he could do it. I feel like he could sneak in and do it. He's done a good job of stopping Jason from taking this base.
Assimilation successful.
Oh, an assimilation on a Hellbat. There's no other units here to help defend these Infestors, though, so they're just going to fungal and try to keep these Hellbats from coming too far in. But now, as the Lings come in here, these are Blue Flame Hellbats. The Roaches will have to help clean them up, and the Lings are just getting absolutely minced by these Ghosts. The Ghosts are really the problem here, and there is our first nuke as we see double nuke production here, actually triple Ghost Academy as the first couple of nukes are coming down. Ooh, that one, though, in range of the Spore Crawler, going to get killed. Second nuke. Oh, the Roaches and Raptors coming in here. There's no detection, though. There's no detection, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Roaches and Raptors getting killed, and the nuke is going to land on the retreat. No. And as Neuro's army supply falls to under 50, with more Lings and Roaches on the way, there's a couple more Neurals. Is it going to be enough, though? There's the scan, and oh no, EMP on the last few Infestors that escape, and all the other ones will die. The Lings come out, but they have no detection again, so these last few Ghosts are actually going to live for a little while. A hot pickup from Jason. Even saves that tank, and I think that's probably going to seal it here. Neuro's going to stick it out a little while longer. He's got about 1 billion gas. But Jason, I think he's cracked the Zerg. Oh my god, Jason's just setting up planetary after planetary. So many planetaries. These infestors are like, we'll do the Neuro teleport trick. But they can't. They can't. Neuro's gonna tap out. Realizes he just doesn't have enough left to fight it, as he keeps losing more and more drones. And there is the GG. The well played from Neuro, as Jason takes game number 1. It's actively getting brighter in here. I guess spring really is happening. My side of the building gets hit with sun all afternoon. And the sun sets over there. I get some really pretty sunsets from in here, though, I will say. That's the trade-off. Need to go on a hike. I haven't been on a hike in so long. Now that it's getting nice out again. Go on a nice hike somewhere. All right, we got game number 2 coming up. Site Delta, what it's going to be. Jason giving us a very long game in that last one. See, I feel like what Neuro needs to learn, he needs to learn some dark builds. Some of those like Roach Ravager builds that just smash a Terran trying to get into mech. They're tough, but I believe in him. I believe in our Zerg player and his ability to learn how to do some dark builds in the future. We'll get him some dark replays. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have Root Gaming's Neuro. And of course, in the lower right, the Blue Terran, it is Juggernaut Jason. And yeah, Jason has taken some games off of some very big and powerful players. Generally Zerg players, I think. He took a game off Dark, I think within the last year. I've seen him take a game off of Solar. I've seen him take games off of Scarlet. Lots of strong Zerg players have fallen to Jason over the years. So yeah, it's a tough one for Neuro. And obviously, I mean, that composition is, it's a difficult and very tricky game state to handle. And once the Terran is getting set up like that with siege tanks, planetaries, and especially those ghosts all out and around, sniping everybody down, it becomes very tough, very tedious to play against. There are not many people who I would say are good at that. Neuro made some strides, but it really came down to the cost efficiency, which was just so much stronger for Jason. The sun may not be real fractal, but the moon is. Just ask your mom. I showed her mine last night. Sorry, but it's a professional broadcast. I don't know what happened there. Jason's Reaper again, gonna be annoying. Gonna kill 2 Lings. Oh my god, can he get a drone too? No, he cannot. Can he get a 3rd Ling? Whew. Not quite, not quite. Jason playing with fire here. Gets out of there. And shockingly, Jason going for the same build, the same opening. Now there's a lot of potential things he can do with this opening. He does not have to go for battle cruisers into mech, into like turtle mech. He may very well do that again. I feel like that's a little bit tougher on this map though. I feel like the shape of this map might not lend itself quite as well to that style of play. We'll see what Jason ends up going for. But this opening is very versatile. A lot of options for the Terran. This makes it can make it very difficult to play against. Could be BCs again. Could be Banshees. Could be, into a follow-up of a couple of racks there and into some Stim Mariners. Seen that plenty of times. But it looks like it's going to be BCs again. Jason, he's giving it to us. We don't see BC openings against Zerg enough these days. The Zergs would disagree with that, as I'm sure they feel that any amount of BC openings in this matchup is too many. But I feel like I don't see battle cruisers as much anymore, and I miss them. I miss the battle cruisers. Ooh, Hellions coming in here. Lings are going to get on top of them, and they're going to get trapped by the Evo Chambers. But 7 drones already going down, 8 drones. Those drones got all caught up here. Ended up bunching up in front of those Hellions. So 8 drones going down. That was quite a few Hellions, but yeah, it's still very worth it for Jason. There's going to be a supernova in the next few months? Or you mean there was a supernova 3,000 years ago? I was there 3,000 years ago. Isildur! That's pretty dope, though. I had not heard that. That's very cool. I would love to see a supernova. I want to watch it. I wonder what a supernova is going to look like. Like, how long will a supernova... I don't know. Like, I want to know what it's going to look like. I don't know. I guess it depends on the star. It depends on what happens. How do we know that there's going to be a supernova? How do we know that? Have we seen it, like, affecting the surrounding stars or something? That wouldn't make sense either. How could we possibly know there's going to be a supernova? Because we can't have observed it yet. Otherwise, there would already be a supernova. I don't know. I don't know. But remember when I was like, Neuro needs to learn some dark builds and go just try to kill the Terran before the Terran gets to the point of the burr. Neuro was he was paying attention, man. He's got 1-1 finishing up. He's got a bunch. It's not 1-1, excuse me. It's +1 attack and +1 attack. He's going to break these rocks, but he's also got the Nidus on the way, and he is going to just go for the smash here. He wants to build a lot of units and try to kill Jason. Jason's keeping an eye on this. He's going to see the rocks break. Neuro's going to back up. I like that back up a lot. This isn't an all-in for Neuro, but it is pretty committed. He's going to be building a lot of units. 69 drones right now, the perfect amount. Oh, I kind of like this play. Now, the BCs are going to come out. Maybe scare Neuro a little bit. But we got the Nidus going down in the natural base. Is Jason paying attention? He might be more focused on the micro here. He might be more focused on the Lings and Roaches that are going to hit his base soon. I don't know if there's actually anything in this Nidus right now. It doesn't really look like it. BC's going to teleport home, but that might leave an opening here as a few Lings do start to spill out of the Nidus Worm. Not really going to get too much damage done, but there's another Nidus on the way. Jason, though, he is here with his units. Those are not Blue Flame Hellions just yet, though, so the Link didn't be able to get on top of them a little bit. Roach is behind. There's one Siege Tank, but the Cyclone's doing a good enough job holding on for now. As this Nidus does pop up, there's nothing to shoot down these battle cruisers. And Neuro, I feel like this was just, this wasn't focused enough for him. He's got a lot of tech coming up behind this. I like the idea, but I think he needed to commit harder. He does have +2 attack, missile and melee attack. Getting very close to being done, though. And that's going to make his Ling Roach very powerful when that happens. We'll be able to get on top of a couple of these siege tanks, but again, nothing to kill these VCs. They're just going to rack up more and more Ling kills. Oh, some roaches from the back, though. Getting on top of this, some Cyclones going down as well. Ravager's going to show up to the party. Neuro, he's trying to keep this mech army low. Yamato's, though, taking care of those Ravagers before they can keep piling down the battlecruisers. And this is now planetary. Oh, it's now a planetary, which means the Lings are not going to be able to take care of it. But 11 SCVs go down, and I think more importantly, the Cyclones are all dead. The Hellions are all dead. Obviously, a few more can be built here, but it takes a while. And the 6 siege tanks, 5 of them are at this base. And only 1 of them is going over here. So the tank count is being kept lower, maybe, than Jason would want it. But definitely the support for the tanks is not where Jason wants it right now. It's pretty much just the battlecruisers. And that does mean that Neuro doesn't have to worry about the battlecruisers on his side of the map for a while. So now he's free to drone up a little bit, macro up, get his hive going, get some corruptors out. That being said, Jason has been cruising on 4 bases for a while at this point. I feel like Jason's starting to get really well set up here. And this is dangerous. Neuro needs to not let this happen. If he's going to keep going low tech, he's got to get in there soon. I actually wouldn't hate to see a quick Raider Spire on this one. I know he's got to deal with the battle cruisers, but I feel like ghosts are only just now about to start coming out. The Cyclone count is completely gone. We have no Thors just yet. And I feel like the Greater Spire could start up. Corruptor's going to come in. There's a Spore Crawler here. Queen's on one side. Corruptor's on another. Battle cruisers would teleport away. I don't know. +1 is almost done here for Neuro, but I really would not hate to see a Greater Spire and some Broodlords trying to chew through some of this in this particular game. Ghosts are going to start to come out now. And that's when things start to get really, really dangerous. They are kind of the final piece of the puzzle of this army of Jasons. But Neuro's getting set up over here. The Corruptors are going to come in. They're going to try to take down this planetary. They are getting hit by the turrets. But they will kill this planetary. They will kill it. There's basically nothing that stops Corruptors from winning that fight. But at the same time, Neuro going to knock in on this side. Roaches, Lings, and Banes trying to crush through and kill some of this economy. And it looks like the tanks will clear this up with the help of the battle cruisers, but 20 SCVs go down. Not to mention bases going down on both sides. Well, actually, just base going down on one side. This Nidus will get taken care of. Was that worth it for Neuro? And he's up quite a few workers now. He's slowing down the taking of this base by quite a bit. Neuro is still only on 5 bases, though, so I feel like we're nearing the end of Neuro being able to keep doing this. He's got some Vipers out. I don't know, though. A couple of Ghosts are here. More potentially being made. It's just 2 right now. Just 2 Ghosts. That's enough to EMP the Vipers, but... Hellion's gonna dive forward. Still don't have Blue Flame, actually. Bit of a mistake there from Jason. I think forgetting to upgrade Blue Flame. And Neuro says, "All right, I'm going in." There are turrets here, so these Corruptors. I don't know if these Corruptors actually will win this fight. It looks like the Corruptors are all gonna die, which means the battle cruisers are gonna just handily win that air fight, and they will eventually clean up these roaches. But in the meantime, the roaches are cleaning up just about everything on the ground here. Delaying this base by a little bit longer. Oh, even gonna kill these ghosts. Resetting the ghost count is always good. Can somebody please? 16 hit points on this ghost. All right, good work, Lings. Good work. All right, right, Jason cleans it up. He's going to be able to take this base. And Neuro going to have to remake all of his units here, spending all of his hard-earned money. As he does try to expand on one side, would not hate to see him expand on the other as well. Jason's just doing the same thing. This is like practice for Neuro. Trying to practice how to do this. How to handle this. Oh, we do see the Vipers coming in now. What are we going to see them use? A couple of Blinding Clouds on the Siege tanks. That makes them pretty much useless units. It's a nice use for them. The Planetary is not quite done yet, but it looks like it will finish. The Corruptor count not, again, high enough to deal with this. Or actually, I think just disjointed. There's still 5 Corruptors around. They just weren't all together with this fight. And these Battlecruisers, man, they have done so much work. 61, 39, and 31 kills. This is a 61 kill Battlecruiser. We have a new one joining the fray as well. Jason securing this 5th base. It is a Planetary, and it is mining. And he's up to 91 SCV, so despite Neuro's killer economy for the last few minutes, Jason's going to even that economy right on up. A similar amount of workers and a couple of mules. Neuro's now mining from these fresh bases, but no gold bases on this map to try to take an advantage with. However, he's going to dive back in. He's going to try to stop this 6th base from going down. This feels so expensive as the Banelings roll forward, and oh my god, they just get blasted to smithereens. Those Banelings didn't hit anything. The tanks just crushed them. Ooh, one Battlecruiser getting low. Nope, it's going to stay alive, though. This one up to 69 kills. It's a 69 kill Battlecruiser. What an absolute god. So nice. So very nice. Yeah, the amount of work these BCs have done. 20 Corruptors have died as Neuro just hasn't had enough at one time to kill any of the BCs. Yeah, because no Battlecruiser has died. Jason has kept them all alive. Neuro's going to dive back in. This feels like a last-ditch effort, though. Where is the ground army? The Queens, they're on their own. The Corruptors running forward, but they can't do it. Oh, 71 kill BC. It teleports away. It stays alive. The Corruptors starting to win the fight. But Jason going to trade as well as he can, then teleport these guys away. One of them does die. The Corruptors will finally win a fight against the Battlecruisers. They could actually chase these into the main base. I have seen that happen before. Whew. The 71 kill BC on 2 hit points. Jason, please. Jason, repair. Jason, no. No, don't bring it out front. Repair. 2 HP, 71 kills. Let's go. All right. They're getting healed back up. It's like 140 kills between them. The Corruptors dive back in, but there's nothing for them to do here. Try to kill this base, I guess. Banelings rolling forward on their own. That's not the play. No, the 71 kill Battlecruiser is still so low. Jason, don't lose it, bud. Let's get it up to 100 kills. I believe. Swarm hosts? Oh my god, 8 Swarm hosts on the way. I mean, I guess that's like going for Broodlords, but not quite. Corruptor's gonna dive in here. Battlecruiser up to 72 kills. Oh, one more BC goes down. There's just too much anti-air now. The Corruptor's flying over ghosts and turrets and just getting absolutely blasted. 2 of the Battlecruisers still live. And this ground army adjacent's looking mighty strong with 18 siege tanks. But here, see here. Here is where I feel like the hard switch, instead of to swarm hosts, just into like 8 broods would have been insane. Basically, none of this deals with broods at all. The ghosts, 6 ghosts could not deal with 8 broods on their own. It's a tough call. It's a tough call to make. Baneling's on the way. The Locust getting popped here as the Swarm Mouse count is now up to 18. This is kind of insane. That is so many Locusts coming out. But the Siege tanks still clearing a lot of these Locusts as they drop forward. The Banelings doing their best to get some kills. But now the Locusts are gone, and now is Neuro's problem, as he has to wait another however long this takes for the next wave of Locusts. 16 more Corruptors on the way. Neuro, where's the Greater Spire? Where's the Broods, Neuro? I don't know. The ghost count's getting big now. 11 ghosts. Locust coming in, trying to get what kills they can. Diving on top of the ghosts in hopes that the friendly fire from the siege tanks will clear them, but it does not. It does not, and the ghosts are winning this fight handily. This BC up to 75 kills. We're going to try to keep an eye on it. See how high it gets. The Corruptor count is, it's 16 now. So these BCs got to be super careful. 77, 78 kills. Be careful, Battlecruiser. Be careful. Oh, he teleports away immediately. Beautiful. 80 kills on that bad boy. He just gets out of there. Now these Corruptors are useless. If only they could turn into a unit that shot the ground. I mean, I will say Broodlords are a scary thing to go into when your opponent has ghosts. Ghosts are just so good against them. You see the Locust being used on the other side of the map, trying to get some damage done at this base, but only a few SCVs going down, as it looks like Neuro might lose this space. It's getting separated off by Jason's tank line. Keep an eye on our 80 kill battlecruiser. Yeah, looks like this base is not long for this world. Neuro trying to run through the middle. Maybe trying to just figure out where he wants to go. There's the Greater Spire. Hold on. He's thinking about it, boys. He's thinking about it. Locust getting a little bit of damage done, but not too much. It looks like the BCs are going to go try to clear this pretty soon. As I think this tank is starting to shell away at this base, which doesn't have a lot of mining left at it, but still not a good position for Neuro to lose at this point. Neuro's going to dive in over here. He's going to be able to take down this planetary that's guarding the entrance to the third base, but he's losing a lot to take down a planetary that isn't even mining, actually. This ghost going to clean up the roaches. Snipes all over the place. As the Corruptors dive forward, hold on, our 81 kill battlecruiser, taking a lot of damage here, gets out of there. Gotta be careful, gotta be careful. The 81 kill BC so low. This one at 53. I want to get that boy to 100. I want 100 kills on that battlecruiser. Neuro moving, or Jason moving forward over here, going to take down another one of Neuro's bases. Neuro could try to expand this base, but obviously it's very close to Jason as well. But Jason has taken the whole lower corner here. And these Locusts, they keep coming in, getting a little bit of damage done, but over time, it's just not really adding up to much. I'm getting real worried for Neuro here. It's getting dicier and dicier. The resources lost is 20,000 in favor of Jason. That is a crazy amount. Oh, Jason. 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 Stop killing your own command center. Yeah. That happens sometimes. Gotta be careful. This PC, 81 kills, 147 hit points though. Jason, get it out of there. Hold on. Let's get more kills. It's 85. No. No, not our battlecruiser. Whoa, hold on. The ghosts, protect. All right, it's getting healed up. There's one SCV on it. I believe in this SCV. Go, SCV. Heal the BC back up to full. I want to see 100 kills. Give me 100 kills. Corruptor's thinking about it. Got to be careful again as a couple more snipes go down. Neuro has taken this base. Long distance mining from it right now. Neuro's got a really nice bank right now. The problem is, what are we going to see him use it on? 65 Banelings being morphed. I guess that's what we're going to see him use it on as Jason starts up a nuke. I'm just keeping an eye on this BC. It's important to me. This battle cruiser doesn't die. Jason, be careful. He's going to lose one BC. Our big boy, though, holding strong. The Banelings rolling through, and finally this base will get taken out as the BC's back up. Oh, this base not going to be long for this world. 11 SCVs go down, and this base dies. Jason's running out of bases to take now. In fact, I would argue he's spent too much money on bases. He's got 14. I can do math. 14 command centers around, even after he just lost 2. This base has, like, nothing left at it. Oh, where's our battle cruiser? Way back here. Locusts coming back in. I like that Neuro's been very active with these Locusts and just keeping the pressure on with them. And he's finally, I mean, he's killing this base. May not seem like a huge deal because there wasn't a lot left to mine from it, but it gives so much space, so much breathing room for Neuro's base up here. And Jason, in the meantime, is taking, again, this base that has like 8 minerals left at it. But similarly, this is a very strong position for Jason to have. And he's going to start dropping nukes. Oh my god, there's so much larva here. Okay, it's not as much as I thought. Still, though. Can we get an RIP on the larva? F's in chat for the larva. Also Neuro. Not supply blocked. Where's our big boy? And keep an eye on him. 86 kills. This one up to 62. Very respectable. 62 kills. The problem for Neuro right now is he doesn't have a way to deal with these ghosts. There are 28 ghosts out on the field, and Neuro does not have a way to deal with them. Oh my god, there's so many siege tanks as well. No! Oh no, the battle cruisers died. All right, well, you know what? Neuro gets a moral victory for killing the BC before it gets to 100 kills. However, he has still lost 24,000 resources more than his opponent. I will say, this number it's still getting worse for Neuro, but he's trading much closer to even than he was earlier on. I feel like there's going to be a limit to what he can do here. Okay, 11 broods are now on the way. I gotta say, I feel like we're about 10 minutes late to these broods, because 28 ghosts absolutely kills the crap out of 11 broods now. Back when it was like 4 ghosts, or even like 8, I could believe, I could believe. You run out of snipe energy after a minute. If you had some queens there to transfuse, it would be good. But Jason has too many ghosts now. The broods can't do it anymore, man. Oh, and the tanks blasting the Lings and Banes before anything else happens. So suddenly there's no support for these Brood Lords. And now we're going to see a nuke on Neuro's most important mining base. He's sucking up the minerals as fast as he possibly can from this, but you're going to have to run those drones away. And the tanks move forward now as well. Oh no, there's Infester. Blep. A couple of Locusts coming down here. They do stop 2 turrets. Good job for those 2 Locusts. But the Thors are coming down now. See, here is the problem. Now the Broods have come out when Jason's army is very good against broods. 6 more on the way. I mean, Neuro's going old school here. This is Broodlord Infester. Hey, if it was good enough for the pros in 2013, why should it not be good enough now? You know? Why should your song not be fit for my halls? Come. Sing me a song. Sing me a song of the broods. All right, they're coming in. They're coming in. Jason's got to deal with these broodlords. There are a lot of them. There are 17 broods, but there are 28 ghosts. However, the infestors are here as well. Bit of a dangerous dance back and forth as the broods will start to chew through the siege tanks. I wouldn't hate to see Neuro get all the broodlings out on like a creep tumor or something and then send them forward. But I like this, hitting over the dead space on the right-hand side, or the left-hand side. Oh, no. Oh. There's a couple of snipes. Ooh, going for a fungal. Juicy fungal. But Jason pulling back. More infestors diving forward. This is too where like one burrowed infestor right here, just like ready for the neural EMP. Ooh, that'd be sexy. Neuro is pretty much out of money here. This is coming down to just the units he's got. Can he be cost efficient enough? The scary thing for Jason is if he starts to lose ghosts and gets to the point where he can't kill the broods, it's going to be really hard to build new units in time to stop them. So there is a danger where Neuro starts to kill the anti-air, and then there's just not enough anti-air coming out. I don't think that's going to be a problem here, though, because look at this. Jason was like, you don't have any Corruptors left, do you, bud? I'm going to build 5 Vikings. And there is nothing you can do against these Vikings. And I think that's going to be about that as the broods are all getting clobbered. And it looks like that's the end of Neuro's army. That's the end of his economy. And I believe, my friends, that that is going to be the end of the game as Jason is poised to take the 2-0 victory over Neuro. Very well played. GG, good luck next. And he even waits for the nuke to land before leaving. GG. What a game. I do feel like that game went a lot better for Neuro than game number 1. But I gotta say, you know, I hope Neuro rewatches that and sees that there was an opportunity there. He had the hive. I think instead of Swarm Host, if he goes for like 8 to 10 broods, and obviously it's very difficult to know that Jason had no Cyclones, no Thors, almost completely tanks with like a few ghosts mixed in. But there was definitely a moment there where 8 to 10 broods would have been very bad for Jason. It's just good to keep that kind of stuff in mind, you know?